Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So the S&P has hit another record high before slightly retracting ahead of the Fed's interest rate decision later on today. And we're just seeing now this bearish divergence that's been going on for a few days now. It's starting to come into play. And if we just zoom in on the 4-hour chart intraday, you can see these, this another record high. And we've just seen a little bit of a slowdown in price action, but it's nothing too concerning at the moment because we've seen this again and again a few times recently, not just in the past few months, but in the past few days as well. So we're just waiting to see if this bearish divergence is elongated, is prolonged, and if we do see price action falling a little bit lower. So trade deals between America and China still kind of having a little bit of a backstep at the moment. We're not really progressing too much as we were with the US-EU trade deal that we saw at the back end of last week. So we could see a slight sell-off in stocks and indices at the moment, but nothing to raise the alarm too much because, as I said, we have seen this again and again in the last few weeks as well before spiking higher and higher. Naturally, with any bullish run, you're always going to get slight pullbacks, which is what we've seen, but it hasn't stopped the S&P or the Nasdaq from hitting record high again and again. On the Dow, it's a bit of another story because that has seen a drop of over 200 points in recent sessions, and that's a little bit more worrying, but there's not really too much of a bearish divergence for the RSI at the moment. You could say there is a little bit of a long-term bearish divergence that's come into play here, but nothing too crazy at the moment. So is this the time when indices are finally selling off? Are stocks going to start moving a little bit lower as well? And what do we know from the Fed? Well, they're expected to hold and expected to cut their first rate in September. But will we get any surprises or any comments from the Fed Chair Jerome Powell, seen as though that he was threatened to be replaced in the last few weeks before Donald Trump did say that is not the case. But it is worrying signs for the Fed. They are very, very pressured and under pressure at the moment to start cutting rates so that the economy can get back on track. Donald Trump is liking the fact that indices and stocks are flying higher, and they could push a lot more higher as well. Let's just take a quick look on the Nasdaq as well. Pretty much similar story. We did have this move higher, which developed this bearish divergence on the RSI. And as I said, will this be elongated? Will it be prolonged? We'll have to wait and see. But chances are that we will get a little bit of a slowdown in price action, and then we'll see what the Fed has to say later on today. But as always, we'll bring you all the latest in the developments from the Fed and all the other technical and fundamental news events. So stick with us, stay ahead, trade responsibly, and we'll speak again next time. Bye for now.